Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's First the Aux, the podcast with your boys Flash, Tyree, and
Ox, what is up, gamers? I hope everyone is doing very, very well. I hope you guys are eating all of your vegetables and having a good day. I am excited for episode 5, and do you want to tell them why?
why are you? Wait, you want me to tell them why?
You can tell them why, I can tell them why,
I want to tell them why. We have a special guest in the building, the gamer of all gamers, Mirrorman. What's up, Mirrorman?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
We are absolutely super happy to have you here. You are the second place master in pretty much every game you play, but you're good at all of them. We are super happy to have you here. What's going on?
Doing pretty well. Feeling the second place vibes right about now. You know?
Something I wanted to ask is, did you start going pro? Because we know you went pro in Team Fortress 2. Was that your first game you'd say you went professional in?
I would say TF2 is the first game I've went professional in, but it's also the first game I started competing in. I've been playing in TF2 for almost a decade now. It's getting up there. It's been up there in terms of how long I've played it. And it's the game I think I've I've spent the most time into by far. I think I have like 8,000 hours or so in TF2. Quite a few, you know, for a game like that. And then somewhere along the line, like around 2 or 3 years after I started playing TF2, I also started playing Smash competitively. And while I never took Smash like too seriously like I did TF2, I played it, you know, I went to locals, had that kind of fun with it. And then eventually, you know, just like other games started coming out, NASB, multiverses, I enjoyed those kind of things just as much, if not more, than Smash, and I just happened to get good at them.
That was something I was wondering. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you who your main was in Smash.
Oh, in Melee I played Fox. Smash 4 is the release date of Smash 4 is basically when I started playing Smash competitively, but I didn't play Smash 4 competitively. I went to a local after wanting to play Smash 4 and I just liked Melee more, so I did Melee instead.
Understandable.
And then when Ultimate came out, my Melee scene around me was kind of starting to die and dwindle down a little bit, so I started playing Ultimate a bit more. And in that game I played Pokemon Trainer.
Wondering, I was like, how did you even go to end up competing in fighting games? That seems like such a gigantic jump. I didn't know you played Smash, so that makes a lot more sense. But I was like, how did you go from playing Team Fortress 2 to NASB competitively? I was so lost.
Nah, I've been playing Smash almost as long as I've been playing TF2. Smash is just like one of those games, you know. You grow up playing it, you use the Kirby down B, you become the Rock, and then it just goes from there, you know.
It's like every kid's canon event to main Kirby at some point in their life. You just got to do it.
Real. I mean, who doesn't like Kirby? You take faces, kind of like Arya, right?
Cringe.
You wanna start talking about some multiverses at this point? Might as well, right?
Oh
Yeah, might as well hop into it.
And so I don't know if you watched the previous episodes, but do you remember about maybe a month ago when I asked you for your hot takes?
I do remember that.
Yes. So in episode 3, you said, and I quote, "Single player content is the most important thing besides netcode and matchmaking."
Yeah.
You still stand by this?
I absolutely stand by this. I think as a game, right? Like, Multiverses clearly has a lot of issues or is lacking in a lot of aspects. There's reasons why people stop playing it to begin with, you know? And like, despite what is there, there's also like a lot of things that's not there as well. And I think the new player experience for a fighting game is integral to like getting people to stay committed to a game for longer than the initial period of like a week, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, well, stuff like netcode and matchmaking is required for a game to function. You need those things or else people just won't play at all. I think Street Fighter 6 has proven like a great example of like why single player content or just like some sort of introductory content in general is just so good for a scene, you know? The amount of people you saw gushing on Twitter about World Tour on Street Fighter's launch
Yeah.
or talking about the combo trials provided, the character guides, you know, all that kind of jazz. Like that can really make or break a new player's experience into a game. Because if you just hop online, if the only option for a game, you know, when you play it is you just hop online, you're just going to lose to people who already have 100 hours, you're not going to have fun. You're just going to stop playing, you know? And if you don't have like some sort of space to learn that skill, I think like, no one's going to bother to stick around, you know?
For sure.
I disagreed with you.
You disagree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you explain why.
No, I just disagreed because the keyboard stuff, native keyboard.
Oh, yeah, you're a
took
cringe
priority.
keyboard player who just wants keyboard support selfishly.
Other than that, everything, no, that 100% is how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, keyboard support's required for LAN tournaments to function. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but I think in terms of making the game a game with longevity, you know. I think a single player outranks that, and I think it's higher on the priority queue, even though both should be, you know, like guaranteed things that need to happen.
For sure, for sure.
One of the like first games I had noticed had that kind of issue was Brawlhalla. It's a lot better now. They've got a lot of events going on, and then even like they've got their like crossovers, and they'll usually do events for that. So it's a lot better now. But like 4 or 5 years ago, I remember Brawlhalla had the exact same issue, where they would start you in ranked in like silver, so you just be getting destroyed until you kind of fall back into bronze. And there's also no single player content either. So it's just like. The new player experience is awful. And then even I don't even play Street Fighter, but I've seen like people kind of saying like Street Fighter almost like tricks you into learning the game with like fun single player stuff, which I think is probably the way to go about it.
Agreed.
Street Fighter has built-in mini games to learn motion inputs and things like that. It's crazy how much stuff they have built in. And there's a reason why I say single player content as opposed to story content, because I don't think the content necessarily needs to be story based or anything like that. It just needs to be something that can keep people's interest while they learn.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Street Fighter, do you no, it's all good. Do you feel like you would go pro in any other fighting game that's not multiverses?
Oh, heck no. I already don't really, I'm already really not a huge fan of competing as is. I'm not a, tournaments like always, it's like a mixed bag for me, right? Of like, if I do good in a tournament, I don't really like get anything out of that, like emotionally or anything. It's just like, okay, cool, I won. But if I lose, I just become like an angry gamer for like the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's not something, and that's something that, I wish it was not the case, but it's definitely just the way it is. I've kind of, I mean, I already talked about this a little bit earlier, but I've been competing for like 10 years in games, man. It's a lot. I played a lot of matches, TF2 matches, like 2 matches a week for TF2. You know, entered a lot of locals, played a lot of online tournaments in my time. It's like competing is the drive to compete. I like being good at things, right? I like being good. I like improving. But entering tournaments, it's just it's such a ball of stress, man.
100. And then if you don't do good, you're just like, oh, I cannot believe I didn't win that. What are you talking about? So I feel you.
I definitely understand that anxiety. I feel like maybe I don't have it as bad because I haven't been competing as long, so I'm not as like kind of jaded and stuff like that. And I also I'm not like the GOAT Mirrorman. I don't have like a billion ones, like a billion first and second places under my belt. So I gotta get those before I become too jaded.
Nah,
but I can definitely see where it's just like competing's not really the most interesting thing. That's something I was gonna ask you about anyways. Do you feel like, are you more of like, well, you said you're not a competitor really at heart, but like, are you more of just like a content creator, or are you just kind of a guy who likes games and then ends up being good at them and then also streaming them?
Mostly the third thing, but I do like having a role as a community figure. So this is something that happened in my time in Multiverses, right? Like there's a big sequence of tournaments that I ran called the Mirrorverses. I ran like 5 or 6 of those on top of the finale event for the game shutting down.
Yeah.
I think that I do enjoy having that kind of role, you know, but like in terms of just, I don't know, man, competing's just not for me, bro.
It's a lot. I'm starting to feel like it's not for me either. Like, I think there's not been a single tournament, then again, like Ox said, we're not goats like you, where I haven't cried after the tournament. I'm gonna be real. I'm a big crybaby.
It's been some tournaments where it's just so frustrating, especially we all know a lot of multiverses comp scene is a literal dice roll, so a lot of it is frustrating. It's one of those things where it's like, can you really be too mad? You kind of know what you're signing up for, but then it's also like, oh, I feel like I definitely should have won that, but you know, netcode or bugs or whatever, it's just like, I don't know how to feel. So when 2024 comes, I like don't know, with this podcast especially, I don't know if I want to like position myself more as just like, yeah, one of those like cool community guys who does stuff like that, or if I want to really sink my teeth back into competing. I guess we'll see. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked to hear that Mirrorman is just kind of like a guy who's just good at games. He's not, he didn't have that like competitor drive. He's just like, yeah, I'm just pretty good. Yeah. I just casually got second at Evo.
Speaking of Evo, do you have any other like key moments from Evo that you remember, Mirrorman?
Oh gosh, from Evo? It was okay. So I didn't have the rough experience a lot of people at Evo had, you know, because at Evo in particular, there were a lot of people coming over to play the game from from the Brawlhalla side of things, particularly a lot of keyboard players. There's been we already made a mention of it before, but players like Sandstorm and Boomy entering multiverses at Evo, they were not able to play the game in an appropriate manner. They kind of busted out. But also they didn't have access to the majority of their control schemes. So it's like, do you blame them? Not really. That was something that I didn't have to deal with at all. And it was kind of funny to watch from the sidelines. Like, haha, I'm on GameCube controller from like the 2000s. And these guys can't get their game or be able to play the game in the year 2023 or 2022, I guess. It's New Year. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I also am massively affected by the keyboard issue, but it is cool that you were able to just kind of vibe and not have to deal with that. Do you have any like fun? Oh no, I want to ask about LTC because I didn't go. That's a tournament I did not make it to. What was that about? Like, was it any different from Evo to where you'll be like, it made you want to compete more or less?
I enjoyed LTC personally a lot more than I enjoyed Evo, just in terms of because in terms of being there, you know. And the main reason for that is like, while the events and stuff were like cooler at Evo, like in terms of like, hey, the finale stadium, you know, you got all that stuff going on. But the main thing is like, LTC had the MTO house, bro. Like a bunch of just top multiverses players rented out an Airbnb, and there's just stuff there every night.
Yeah, fair enough.
That made that experience a lot more enjoyable. Like that, there was a whole Bugs Bunny free for all. It was like me, Bandman, Luck, and Poppy Flum, I believe. We were doing a 1st to 2 in a Bugs Bunny free for all, and those guys did not get a single game. That's all I got to say.
We got the. I guess you prove who's Bugs' boss then, huh?
Exactly.
We got the iconic Bugsy versus Mogul Harley game. I remember that one too. That was at LTC, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at LTC. Mogul, that's where Mogul got his #1 Harley spot.
Of course. And Bugsy has to concede that until 2024. I wanted to go to LTC so badly. I'm so excited. That's why I'm so excited for 2024. Like, regardless of kind of where I guess anybody stands as like competitor, content creator, or whatever, the LAN experience is hopefully going to be so much smoother. And then we can do more like fun side stuff like the Mount Olympus house or something like that. Because I'm so upset that I miss LTC and miss that LTC house. I'm so excited for stuff to be able to happen again like that in 2024.
2024, we pray. 2024.
I know. Do you have anything to say about your famous Evo moment? You're not scared of anybody?
Not really.
I know there's
okay, there's a whole thing about that, right? Okay, I want to talk about that a little bit. Because you want to know what sucks? What are you supposed to do if someone's holding a mic in your face, like basically begging you on to be antagonizing? Like, yeah, I could do what Rose J did and just sit there and be like, oh yeah, cool guys. No, that's boring, bro. The person's holding the mic in your face trying to egg you on. You gotta go with it.
He did it for the content.
Exactly.
For the content. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not
the
surprised.
content it made, everybody was talking about it for like what, a month after, pretty much.
It was around a month or so. There were some people I got some very angry Twitter DMs and some very annoyed ats on Twitter.
I didn't know there were people.
Actually, dude, there was one guy who told me I should. I'm not gonna say it actually, but there was some guy who said something not good.
That's crazy. No way. Over you just saying you're not surprised.
And you want to know what? I was when I got that DM, I was drunk on soju watching Guilty Gear Strive Top 8. I had I was vibing, bro.
I wanted to ask you about your YouTube. I don't know. Small plug. You should go check out Mirrorman's YouTube channel.
You should absolutely do that. Yeah. There's a video releasing soonish. I can't put a time on it, but the answer is soonish. It's in progress.
Soonish. Any ideas about what it's about, or is it just all a mystery?
No, I can talk about it a little bit. I recently put out a video for Brawlhalla with the whole concept of how good can you get at the game in 1 week. And the video has done very well. It's over 300k views now. And I'm doing something similar, but for Street Fighter 6, because that game just released, you know? And I finished all my parts of it. I got the script done, all the recordings done, just waiting on it getting edited. Got a thumbnail commission that's hopefully coming through soon. But yeah, that video's in progress. It'll be out soon. And hopefully it does well.
Yeah, what are you planning on doing, like, content creation-wise until Multiverse comes back? I mean, I know you've been streaming and kind of doing a few YouTube videos inside. Are you planning like keeping that going, or is it just at this point like I'll do it when I feel like it?
we'll see what I end up getting around to doing, because if I wanted to like still be as close to full-time streaming as possible, I'd probably just stream Brawlhalla, because it's currently the game I get the most success with while streaming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a game I personally enjoy to the extent where I want to make it my whole main thing, you know?
Right.
So I'll just be hopping around different things. Whenever there's new game releases, I'll be on those. I know Counter-Strike 2 is dropping later this year. I'll play that. I'll probably play the new Mortal Kombat when it drops. I might play the Tekken when it drops. NASB 2 for sure. I'll at least give that game a week. Yeah, I'll just be hopping around whatever I think I'm enjoying most at the time. And if I can come up with content on YouTube and stuff that goes alongside that, hey, just more benefit for me.
For sure. I know there's a ton of stuff coming out. So like pretty much around the end of summer, like beginning of fall, there's like so many things in the FGC releasing. So I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Slash last episode. Do you feel like we're entering another like golden age of fighting games? Because honestly, I feel like in a year we could be having so much fun with the FGC. That's just my
It's hard to argue otherwise. Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat, some of the biggest, most prestigious traditional fighting game titles of all time, you know? Getting big, like huge major like mainline releases, you know? Project L coming 2025, that'll probably shatter records for fighting games.
I'm
In terms of platform fighting games, you have like NASB 2 coming out, which while NASB 1 wasn't the biggest, obviously, NASB 2 could try to replicate the same amount of financial success the first game had, which was a surprisingly large amount. Multiverse's re-release come 2024. Hopefully it makes the game a lot better than it was before, and hopefully it gets people to actually stick around this time. Rivals of Ether 2, don't want to forget about that one. Like there's so many good good potential games coming out that'll like, and they're all going to attract attention, and I hope the big thing is I hope it leads to growth in the scene as a whole.
Yeah,
because for a while now, at least this is how it's felt, right, is traditional fighting games and platform fighting games have had the same size of audience since like the mid 2010s, right? They've had like pretty similar amounts of audience. But this year in particular, man, like I think Evo viewership this year is going to shatter records for fighting games, and I think as like more games continue to release, especially Project L, I think that's gonna continue happening into the future.
For sure. I think especially with Project L, you'll kind of get those like Riot gamers who'll kind of just check out anything that they put out because they've kind of got a good history of putting out fun stuff. So you'll kind of get that crowd, which will be nice. And you know, Riot pretty much owns the gaming scene, so that won't be a surprise. But even then, I've even just heard from like people that I know that don't even really play games that much anymore, like casually be like, oh yeah, I'll probably end up playing the new Mortal Kombat. I'll probably pick up Street Fighter. I've been playing Street Fighter. Just like people that don't even play fighting games like that. So that's been super cool to see. I think it is genuinely looking like it's going to be growing, and even now, but like in the next year or so, even more so. Because I feel like for a while it's kind of been like the same group of people just kind of like moving around different games with not much like actual like people from outside coming in. But I think that'll probably end up changing pretty soon.
I'm excited for all the duo-ness, like all the synergies in these games. Like you got Project L literally saying, yeah, it's a 2D fighter. Just 2v2s, you know, just normal things, tag team.
Yeah, I remember, who was it, Bugsy, that said like, multiverses, or I'm not gonna say multiverses was like the genesis of this idea, but like in general, FGC needs to have something to shake it up, and it seems like a lot of it is going to be like tag team gameplay and stuff like that, which I'm always excited for. I've always felt like twos is a little bit more interesting as a concept in general than ones. I've always been a twos gamer, so I'm super excited for that stuff. I know we talked about it last episode, but I really cannot stop thinking about Project L. When that drops, I'm going to be so excited.
Project L is gonna be huge.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're planning on checking out Project L when it drops.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For me personally, I've always enjoyed doubles more than singles, and basically every single game that offers is a format, you know. Like Melee, I like doubles more than singles. Ultimate, I like doubles more than singles. NASB was pretty even, but I think I liked doubles slightly more.
NASB doubles was fun.
Extremely preferred doubles.
NASB's doubles was really fun.
NASB doubles is really fun because the hit stun's so crazy, and basically everything can team combo so long as you set it up correctly. Also, because you could air throw people, you could also air throw people in team combos. It just led to a lot of goofy stuff that you could actually do.
Didn't you and Lily team for one of those combos tournaments? The double smash?
The person I teamed the most often was Bodidi. April player. But I did play one tournament with Lilybon, and we did double SpongeBob, and we did not drop a game, and it was very funny because we would just chain Spobble people into death just by knocking them back and forth. It was.
I will say one good thing about Nasby, they probably have some of the best casual maps I've ever seen. I don't know if that's like generally accepted, but what is it? The cinnamon? What's that guy? The cinnamon toast, whatever. That guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Powder Toast Man.
Powder Toast Man. Yeah, his map so fun.
It was
I
so
think
stupid.
one thing Nasby also thrived on was the quality of soundtracks between each stage. Nasby straight up like has amazing music.
Yeah, 100%.
They were just producing straight bangers in Nasby. I didn't even notice.
No, the music was really, really good. This is First Talks episode with our first guest star, Mirrorman.
Yeah, you just made history. How do
You just
feel?
made, like-
Yeah.
First guest
Feeling
star on
good,
First
feeling
Talks. I mean, I was thinking about like who we wanted to get on here. I'm just like Mirrorman. Oh, Mirrorman. Ox reached out. He said you would get on. I appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, man. Definitely appreciated. If you want to plug all your stuff, feel free.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Hello, fellas. I am Mirrorman TF on basically every social media platform ever, except for YouTube, where I'm just Mirrorman. I'm on everything. Just, you can find me if you look me up.
He said Google.
I guess on YouTube, I'm Mirrorman TF as well, yeah. Although I have the channel name Mirrorman, but I have the @Mirrorman TF. I guess I am just Mirrorman TF on everything. You can find me that way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He is
Go
a
check him
streamer,
out.
content creator, king of second place, crab enthusiast. Mirrorman, thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. Appreciated. Make sure you're checking in every week. We'll have episode 6 and episode 7, and then eventually we'll hit 11 and 12, and it'll be cool and fun.
And 13 and 14 and 15 with
hope
more
you're
guests
sticking
to
around.
come. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. 99% of you guys aren't subscribed. I meant to say that in the beginning.
99 is crazy.
Hey, it's real.
90% are not subscribed, so you should go ahead and do that. And if you're on Spotify, go ahead, keep listening, make sure you're following. That would be greatly appreciated. Tell your friends, tell your mother, get your mother in a fighting game so she listens to the podcast. We think that'd be cool.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.
Bye-bye.